With Money in the Bank only a few days to go, let's see if SmackDown Live can continue its hell of a momentum on its Go Home show. I'm your host Boise, this is Smack Talks SmackDown Live Review. So we started off the show with what WWE are now classing as a summit, where they had all 4 competitors for the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match in the centre of the ring with Paige, that's Charlotte Flair, Becky, Lynch, Naomi and Lana. Now this was quite a good promo state affair. Paige cut a promo saying, I don't care which one of you wins, I just want the briefcase back on SmackDown Live. Then Lana's the first to go, I'm going to win it for you, before Naomi interrupts her and states, look, don't forget, I am the first WrestleMania Battle Royale winner. Then Charlotte interrupts her, says, look, I am a Divas champion. I am a NXT champion. I am a former Raw Women's champion. I'm a former SmackDown Women's champion. I won it all but the Money in the Bank suitcase match. And then Becky goes, excuse me, I was the first woman picked by the Blue Brand. I was the first woman to win the SmackDown Live title. And I'm sick and tired of saying was. I am ready to say I am, and I'm going to get it by getting the suitcase. And this was Becky's best promo in some time. Don't get me wrong, Naomi's was good, Charlotte's was fine, but you know, Charlotte is Charlotte. But for me, this was Becky's promo and she did really, really well. Then they were interrupted by the Iconics, who started mocking each and every competitor in the ring. Then they were interrupted by Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, who stated they are better competitors outside the ring than the ones who were taking part in the women's ladder match. Obviously this caused a brawl where Paige stated that there will be a 8-woman tag team match. This was later changed because Asuka wanted Carmella for the attack, which she did last week, which pretty much stated it would be the babyface-ish team taking on the heel team, which for me is a great main event, and I will give my score for that later. But for an opening segment, I am definitely giving this a good 6 out of 10. But our first match of the night was Shelton Benjamin. That's right, Shelton Benjamin versus Daniel Bryan, and it was quite an atmosphere for Daniel Bryan when he came out into the ring. This is where the Yes movement first originally started, and this was great for the fans at the arena. They were quite lively when Daniel was out. Shelton Benjamin and Daniel Bryan had a decentish match. I'm not saying it was a good match, I said it was a clinical type of match. It was very much paint by numbers, well put together. Both guys definitely experienced wrestlers, and you can see that in the way they worked. It was nothing to write home about, but the selling from both Daniel Bryan and Shelton Benjamin were well put together. So for me, Daniel getting the win, giving him a bit more momentum, you know, still building Daniel up since he's come back from retirement. I'm going to give this another 6 out of 10. A good start to the show so far. This again moves us on to a unique interview style, once again by SmackDown Live. This time we had the legend himself, Jerry the King Lawler, which I am a bit of a fan for. I do miss him sometimes on commentating, and he came out to interview AJ Styles, and they had it was a decent interview. But the reason I'm saying it's unique, again, they took it at the entrance way on the side, and it was well filmed. Once again, you got the fans' reactions to what AJ was saying. It felt a lot better with the crowd in the background and listening in properly instead of doing it backstage. For me, it just works. I know it's not as traditional as doing backstage interviews, but having the crowds there does kind of make it feel more like they're involved, and it worked. And AJ stated, I need to apologise to Nakamura for slapping him, but the only reason is because I should have punched him in his stupid face, which Jerry the King Lawler loved, so that was great. It's a basic interview, it really didn't go anywhere, but just the way it was shot, I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. AJ, he's good at his promos, he knows what he's doing, and it's good to see the King sometimes. So yeah, Next up, we had a unique one-on-one match where we had Samoa Joe versus Rusev with a special guest referee, The Miz. Now this was quite good. Miz asked Paige if he could be the special guest referee for a movie role, which somehow Paige obviously didn't believe, but still allowed The Miz to take part in this match as a special guest referee. And again, a decent match between Rusev and Samoa Joe. Rusev got a hell of an entrance from the fans. That was great. The Miz got cheered and booed, which is always fantastic. And Samoa Joe is just Samoa Joe. He's that cool. And the match was just brilliant. It was it's the first time I've ever seen these two take each other on. And I could actually, if it was a little bit longer, it would have been a lot better, in my opinion. The time scale just didn't help it. If we had more time, it probably would have been a lot better match, in my opinion. So for that, and The Miz being involved, The Miz not counting when Samoa Joe nearly beat Rusev, which he did technically, and then Rusev super kicking Samoa Joe to get the win, Miz counting, Rusev gets the win, then Aiden English gets a ladder, and of course you know what's going to happen. Rusev tries to climb it, Miz skull crushing finale, and after that he climbs up and does the dreaded picks up the suitcase and celebrates. You know for a fact now it's most likely The Miz is not going to win Money in the Bank. Damn it. But he went down to the commentating team and went, look in there, that's a contract, look at it. And then Byron Saxon goes, no, it's pancakes. And this is the bit which ruins it for me completely. New Day had taken the contract out and filled it with pancakes, the briefcase. And The Miz did the New Day thing, which was funny, but it still took away from a really cool part. So for that, I'm going to give it a 6. It could have been a 7 out of 10 because it was really good match and The Miz was really good in it as well. But that kind of ruined it a little bit, so yeah, 6 out of 10. Next up, we had a first time match as well. We had Jeff Hardy taking on Shinsuke Nakamura. And I was really impressed with both men. Obviously, Jeff is carrying an injury, and he wasn't as fast as he usually is, and the commentators did state that as well. But it was a good back and forth type of match. I love Shinsuke Nakamura right now as a heel. He's the best heel on SmackDown Live right now, in my opinion. I think The Miz is the best speaker, but I think Shinsuke is just tactics as a heel. He's just outperforming him right now. It's one of those matches where it's like, it's really good until the ending, but the ending makes sense. Now it looks like Jeff was gonna fight, injury or no injury, was gonna go all out, and he did. He went all out. Shinsuke Nakamura looked like he was on the ropes, and what does he do? He goes to Old Faithful and low blows Jeff in the nuts. Of course he does. And then King Sasha, his face, well, knee to face anyway. I can't pronounce his finisher. I'm the worst person to announce that. But yeah, knee to face, and then starts counting to 10. For that, you know, typical heel tactics, makes sense. It could be used on Sunday. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10, mainly because I'm not a big fan of low blows like that. But Jeff winning by DQ, so, you know, can't complain too much. Next up, we did have a promo by Big Cass backstage where he was going to get a interview with Renee Young. He kind of went, bye Renee, cut a promo against Daniel Bryan saying he was at a fair, they paid him to be there, he took photos, and he took a "you must be this tall to ride" sign. It was a really bad promo. I feel so sorry for Big Cass for these type of things, because you know it's probably not him, it's definitely the writers. It was a bit stupid, so I'm giving this a 3 out of 10 because it was a bad promo. And this moves us on to our main event, which was 10-woman tag team match. My God. In the babyface corner, we had Charlotte Flair, Asuka, Becky Lynch, Naomi and Lana. In the heel side, we had the Iconics, Mandy, Rose and Sonya Deville, and the SmackDown Women's Champion, Carmella. And for a tag team match of this kind of size, it was absolutely chaotic. It wasn't what we got on the Raw Women's match, which we saw last night, but it was completely different in its own unique way. So for me, I liked it, but because there was so many bodies in this type of match, and you really couldn't say it was a well-organised mess, because you can't. It's obviously a 10-woman tag team match. They are never going to be organised, even if it was a man's one or a woman's match. It doesn't matter. They're never going to get a clean match. The tags were good. Becky Lynch's selling. Lana's selling was well put together. Lana wasn't in the match as much. That's a good thing. They did protect her on that. But for me, I'm going to say this was a decent 5 out of 10, because again, it's a lot of bodies, a lot of big moves and everything like that. Asuka won with the Asuka lock. I mean, afterwards the women all started celebrating, who were in, all the babies. I mean, they realised they've got the Money in the Bank suitcase on Sunday. They all looked at Asuka and go, if you win the title and if one of us wins on Sunday, we're coming after you. And I thought that was a good way to end the show. It was a decent, solid ending to the show. You had the baby faces really perform. And there you go, guys. That was SmackDown Live's Go Home show before Money in the Bank. And what did I think? I think every part of the show really pushed what it needed to do. It's definitely moving on to, Money in the Bank. There was no match there which wasn't involved in some way. One competitor wasn't involved in Money in the Bank. So every match was important for momentum and, seeing what the tactics or where we could see someone going on Sunday. I think it was a very decent show. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Again, SmackDown have really putting some good shows together lately, and I'm really enjoying it. The only downfall I'm going to say for SmackDown is they did announce that the SmackDown Tag Team Division match, tag team match, will be taking part on the kickoff show on Sunday. Bit of a shame, but I can understand there's not been any momentum built up for that one title match. There's been one match where Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows won to be number one contenders, and that's about it. We had one-on-one match. I thought we would have seen the other one-on-one match, but no, that got scrapped, it seemed, and that's it. But yeah, really enjoyed the show. Looking forward to Sunday. I think whoever wins Money in the Bank is going to be great. I will be posting up a predictions video this weekend, so please stay tuned for that. And there you go, guys. That was Smack Talk SmackDown Live review. Please follow me on Twitter at Boise88 and follow the channel on Twitter at Smack Talk YouTube. That's YouTube. And please like and subscribe and stay notified. And I'll see you guys next time on Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews.